it's Sam Anvers here, and we're filming a new video, and in today's video, it is going to be the sequel of our hashtag TeamTravel experience. If you remember my last video, I explained to you what hashtag TeamTravel was going to be all about, or what a part of it was going to be, and it was going to be an online Q&A, and I was just like, let's do it, let's make a video. I have my coffee ready. Today I'm drinking from my Beijing Starbucks mug. It has like the Great Wall of China on it. And I think this is the Forbidden City, I don't know. Yeah, everything's better when you do it with coffee, so I'm sorry about it if you're not a coffee drinker, but I don't know how you're living your life. So if you remember last week, I made a video explaining the hashtag TeamTravel and asking you guys your first question, which was, if there is anything in this world that you could not travel without, what would it be? And to be very honest, I was terrified. I wasn't sure whether there was going to be any response or a lot of response, or if people were going to be like critical about it, but I could say that the overall response was very good, and I love to see that there are so many people supporting this, and keep doing it because you're up for some really good times, okay? Let's just dig into the answers, shall we? I think we shall. If there was one answer that totally led the entire comment section, it would have been a camera. None of you guys can seem to be able to live without a camera, whether it's the one on your iPhone, whether it's a DSLR, which I'm shooting it on right now, so I can't really show you, whether it's a GoPro or anything like that, whether it's any of these things, you guys cannot live without it. I made a little calculation, and according to 63% of y'all who replied to us, cameras is something you cannot travel without. And I'm here for that, because the other day I wanted to make a little video of me booking a flight or anything. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I tried to turn on my camera and it won't. And when it finally did turn on and I had to change the SD card, it crashed. And I was terrified because I was like, this is my life. My camera is my only #1 thing, except for my laptop and my phone, that I actually need in my life. And except for like social contact and stuff, but who does that anyway? And to name a few of the people who answered camera to this question, whether it was an iPhone camera or a DSLR, it doesn't matter, were Trav Monkey, Travelin' Chicks, and Brave Cheesehead. Give these people some love because they are supporting the best community ever. And some other really good answers that I thought were amazing were the Twitter account for What Now Travel. They told us that a compass was really useful, and I reckon that if you're an adventure traveler and you do not rely on modern technology, a compass is, as old as it might get, the best thing out there. And another really good answer was Tales of Barcelona. She told me that earplugs were something very necessary in her suitcase, and although I don't really relate to that because I'm a very good sleeper, I sleep anywhere, just put me somewhere and I'll sleep, I see how a lot of people, or half of the world, might need this to get a good night's sleep. Answers were answers that I relate to very, very much. These are the things that I like pack the first thing. Like, I open my suitcase, I put in those 3 items, and then comes everything else. And one of these answers was by Outlander Abroad, and she told me basically that she needed a Moleskine when she was traveling, and I relate to that. I hear you. I really need them in my life because I want to re-experience my travels through my writings, and yeah, so that's just something that I do, okay? My second favorite answer was by Holidays Travel, and she was all about the music, and girl, let me please tell you, how are you not my spirit animal? Because yes, music is everything to me. I remember my first trip actually away from home, and that was to Stockholm in Sweden, and we went with a bunch of friends, and it was cool, and although I loved it, there was this one morning when I just had to sneak out of the room and get outside and put my iPod in and just go with it and experience everything about this new culture, this new place, with the perfect music or the perfect track with me. And that's where I discovered my love for the marriage between traveling and music. And then last but not least, there is this good Twitter friend that I've had. Actually, I think we're more than Twitter friends because we've like been on each other's Twitters for so long. Is Jess is a Wanderer. She's an amazing person. She's launching her website very soon, I think this week somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, depending on when this goes up, of course. And she told me that the #1 thing you should always bring when you're traveling is ambition. And girl, let me just say to you, when I read that tweet, I was like, yes. This is my #1 tweet. You cannot top that anymore because it is so true. When you travel, if it's for leisure, if it's for business, if it's for anything in the world, if it's just for relaxation, if it's for discovering new cultures, you want to do something with it. You want to take something out of that and you want to implement it into your life and make yourself a better person. And I think that is the base of traveling. Ambition is quintessential if you're traveling. That's it for this week's Team Travel. Okay. And this week's question is actually inspired by one of our contributors of last week's, and that is Holidays Travel, because she talked about music being quintessential for your travels. And so I'm gonna put it out there, and I wanted to ask you, what is your go-to song when you're traveling? If you want to take part of this little Team Travel Q&A we've got going on, tweet to us with the answer to our question, what is your go-to song when you're traveling? Tweet your answers to us or anyone out there with the hashtag TeamTravel on Sam Anvers on Twitter or Sam Anvers on Facebook, because we've recently made a Facebook account. I'm going to be uploading a new video soon considering the question why this thing is hanging over my world map, but you'll see that soon, I guess. And until then, remember, live every day as if it's your biggest adventure ever. Bye!